Hey guys, welcome back to the third episode of
What's up, Talk?
Crap. My mind is
We were recording this at approximately 10:21 p.m. We wanted to record this about 7 hours ago.
Yep.
But
yeah, I'm tired, but we got a lot on the plate today. So obviously we always start off with news, but before we get into the news, I'd like to apologize for my really whack, with lack of a better word, posting schedule this week. We had a friend, I'm not going to say his name because he hasn't been in any videos yet, hasn't been in the podcast. I'm not sure if he wants his name out there.
of course.
But he is moving to Switzerland. Which, in case you didn't know, we don't live in Switzerland. we live in America, Ohio. So, yeah, it's a long way away. He actually just moved today.
Yeah,
he should be getting there pretty soon. Yeah. He had a flight this morning. So we spent a lot of time hanging out with him. You know, I missed a few streams, but it was worth it.
It was a sacrifice that had to be made.
Had to do it.
Because you gotta get those memories in.
Yeah. So that's also why this is a day late. Yeah, I mean, if you're enjoying it a day late, you should share the podcast.
Yeah, share the podcast, guys.
Share the podcast, all right? Yeah, we maxed out on 6 listeners on Spotify the other day.
Yeah, so get those streams up.
Yeah, we gotta follow the podcast on Spotify. I'm pretty sure you follow it. Subscribe on the YouTube. If you're just there for the podcast, ignore the other videos.
Yeah.
I really don't care. Just subscribe. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You have anything else to say before we get into news?
Nothing. That's good.
All right. So first story. This was our story last week. The Black Lives Matter movement is still going on with all the protests. We have here. Let me pull this up. It's already up, but let me fix it.
Get back in the. Actually, you think we better get just a picture up?
A picture.
Yeah, because this video they're talking over.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Oh my God. Now look what. They can talk about something.
So essentially, I think it was the mayor's call actually to paint a mural that says "Black Lives Matter" leading on the road that leads up to the White House.
Yeah.
And didn't they also, what was it, they changed a plaza name? I don't know.
Yeah.
The street name, what was it?
Okay, so here we go. We have it pulled up. So it just says in yellow, it says Black Lives Matter. I'm pretty sure they just painted it, right?
Yeah, I believe they just painted it right on there.
And then they also changed what was it? I think it was a plaza,
the
right?
Plaza. It was Black Lives Matter Plaza, I believe is what they changed it to. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, well,
Plaza.
that's a plaza, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, things are happening in D.C. for the movement. There's protests all around the country.
Oh, yeah, protests all around the country still. I think the protests have actually gone over to Europe now, too.
Oh, yeah, actually. I saw in Australia, I don't have this pulled up because I just remembered it.
Popped up.
But in Australia, they were protesting police brutality, and they had written out the words "I can't breathe" in a big field.
Yeah.
And there was another town was just covered in protesters.
Yeah.
In Australia.
It's a global thing now. It's definitely spread.
Yeah, which I'm shocked to see that it's spread.
Yeah,
so apparently it must be a problem everywhere, not just here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just had a protest in our actual town.
Yes.
There was one in Canton, but now there's one in our town.
Yeah, there was
North Canton.
Yeah, it's not.
Pretty close. Pretty much the same place. But there was one right downtown in ours. I don't know how many people actually went to that.
I did not see.
I didn't see anything on it.
I had to work that day, so I would not.
Yeah, I was working as well.
I was not around.
I was working as well when it started.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Cause
Wasn't it up right by the Y?
Yeah, it was. So it was literally in our downtown square. So, for those of you who maybe aren't from around here, which I'm surprised if we have viewers right now who aren't from around here.
That's facts.
But our downtown has the Hoover Company, the original Hoover Vacuum Company, and right there's a little park. What is it?
Bitzer Park.
Bitzer Park, and they were protesting on that park and around that area on the sidewalk.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how that went. I'm assuming since we haven't heard about it, I'm assuming it went peacefully and everything was fine. Which, I assume it would be. But.
Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be. Yeah. Another thing to bring up, the Canton one that we talked about last week, apparently got out of hand a teensy bit.
Yeah.
We don't know any of the details.
Yeah, I was not there, so I cannot speak as to what truly happened.
Yeah. But basically, they were tear gas was thrown. We don't really know what happened.
Canton SWAT showed up. Tear gas was being thrown. I cannot say as to why or what, if it was...
Yeah. It was supposed to be... peaceful. I'm assuming there was just a few people there. Something.
Yeah,
went wrong.
I don't know if it was. Yeah,
We don't really
I can't
know.
really speak on what
But
happened.
yeah,
I wasn't
so
there,
that
so
that went well for the most part. But there was tear gas thrown in some areas,
Which
not
you-
all of the areas.
yeah, which you just hate to see regardless.
Yeah.
but-
I mean, yeah. Other than that, everyone is still protesting. There's not really
Mhm.
any big updates on it.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, wait, no. The officer was charged, or not charged.
No, they changed the charge from third-degree murder to second-degree murder,
Yeah.
and they've charged the other 3 officers now.
Yeah, with assist.
with assisting in-
assisting in.
I don't know the
Something.
full like the actual charge name, but basically like for assisting in the murder
Yeah, yeah.
because they did not because there was like some new footage release I saw where it shows actually like all like 3 or 4 of them like on his back. So
Mhm.
like I think they
Yeah, so they can get him. For
and
that.
obviously like even if they weren't all on his back, they still stood there and did not say
And
or
let
do
it happen,
anything,
yeah.
and they let it happen.
They
so.
allowed it to happen.
There's gotta
They
be-
can use that wording.
I agree. There has to be some sort of responsibility for that because you can't just stand
Yeah.
by and
Yeah,
watch.
so I mean, I don't know if there's anything. There's no other recent developments. Protests are just happening around the country.
I believe so. In Russia.
Russia. Yeah,
Russia made
yeah.
it-
Here's a segue. So
I don't know
Next
if you could really say
news.
Russia made an oopsie,
yeah,
but
Russia definitely made
melting
an oopsie.
permafrost made an oopsie.
yeah. So
As you can
I'll
see,
just read. I'll read the title
Yeah,
here
yeah.
as I put it up on the screen. So Russia declares state of emergency over Arctic Circle oil spill caused by melting permafrost.
And
So
for those of you, obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see. But
Yeah.
for those of you listening on Spotify or whatever, it's a aerial shot of the river, and it's just red.
yeah, it's like the reddish brown,
Yeah.
like the rust color of oil.
Yeah, it looks like the river's made out of rust, basically.
Yeah, it's
Maybe we'll scroll down
and-
here.
And the other thing is, for people watching, this started way back on the river. I don't know when this is
Oh, yeah,
restarted.
this
That
is-
wasn't the same shot,
This
though. It was
has
going
been-
up the
This
river.
video clip has been playing now for at least a solid 20 minutes. So
Yeah.
I don't know how long this footage is. I guess they're just filming the whole river. But you want to scroll down here
Yeah, I'll scroll
and
down.
read the details.
Because you read the details.
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah. So it says the spill of diesel has caused rivers to run red. Melting permafrost caused a fuel tank holding 21,000 tons of diesel oil to collapse in Russia's Arctic Circle, leading to a 135 square mile oil spill. So, obviously, that's just not good.
Yeah.
I don't know how good Russia is
Obviously, that's not
combating
good.
that kind of thing, or how much they even care about cleaning it up. Because I know it's about to get us banned in Russia too.
Yeah,
Like
Russia-
Chernobyl and all
Already
that, they
banned in
just try to
China.
when the Chernobyl disaster happened, they just try to cover it all up.
Yeah.
And they were like
I feel like they can't cover this up.
the only because the reason they found out about Chernobyl is because a station in Switzerland or Germany or something like that, somewhere way over in Eastern Europe, they're what's the name
have
of
no clue.
the text radiation. I forget. I'm going blank on what the official device name is called.
That's text radiation? I wanted to say radiator, but that's a thing in a
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
That's
I'm
another
going
thing in a
completely
car.
blank, but basically
know.
they were just picking up incredible amounts of radiation that was being blown over from Chernobyl, and that's
Really?
actually how the world found out about it because obviously the Soviet Union's not going to admit that they messed up or did anything bad.
Yeah.
And even after which by the way, I get from the show Chernobyl on HBO, super good show. I recommend watching it. Even after both reactors had just exploded and there's just radiation flying everywhere, they were like, there was no more radiation was released than a chest X-ray. They were still just it's not a big deal. Nothing's wrong. Obviously, terrible. Still can't live in Chernobyl to this day. It's so
Yeah, that's-
radioactive.
Yeah, I actually heard about that. I watched a YouTube video on that.
Yeah, but yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, but
It's been
I
a
feel
few.
I feel like they're not even the Soviet Union anymore.
No, they're not. But
What are they called? Just Russia?
I'm not
Do they have
sure.
a new name?
It's something. I don't think it's just Russia. I
We're
think it's
so bad.
yeah, but I don't know. It's still they're not the Soviet
probably doesn't
Union,
care.
but what is it Putin's the only one on the ballot every year.
Yeah, yeah, Putin-
it's not Soviet Union, but I feel like it's just
But Putin is just.
it's like a curtain of democracy, but it's not actually not actually.
Yeah, do they have
democracy.
elections? I don't know how that
It's
works.
still what I saw. They passed this bill in Russia, and it was protecting the youth from homosexuality.
Oh, that's bad.
It's
Oh, that's
bad. They
bad.
have anti-gay propaganda playing on the TVs in Russia and stuff. It is not.
So Russia's not good yet.
Dude, don't
at
let them
all.
fool you. they're still living like way in the past. Like they're not.
Yeah,
they're
that's not
up
good
to,
at all,
They're
dude.
not up to date.
God, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like they kind of have to somewhat take care of this. 21 tons of I'm curious how many gallons that is. I know it's a dumb thing to, but like, what was it, 21,000?
Yeah, 21,000 tons. But yeah, like, because if they don't, because that's running through rivers, right? So that's eventually going to lead to other oceans and stuff like that. And like, that's going to be like a global problem.
Metric. How many gallons are in a ton? Oh god, now I have to actually.
Oh man, 12 gallons to
no,
100 pounds, 1 ton.
No, this is it, right? Yeah, gives. Okay, so
264.48 times.
So now we gotta go to the calculator.
I gotta get some quick math going here.
Oh god, I haven't done math since
A few solid months. Months now since any math.
Can I copy and paste in this? Oh, you son of a gun! What was the number? You hate to see it. You really hate to see it. So basically 264.
Yeah, 264.
So that would round down. 64
times 2100 or
1,000, right?
Yeah, 1,000.
5 million.
So approximately 5.5 million gallons of diesel fuel has been dumped into the Arctic Circle.
5.5 million milk gallons. Like, think about that.
That's a lot of.
Because that's like the reference.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
It's like a milk gallon.
Yeah, it's a gallon. But yeah, a lot of fuel.
God, man, that's an issue. That has to be bigger than the spill in the Gulf.
What was the Gulf spill? Look up the Gulf spill. So we have something to like relate it to.
Gulf.
Gulf was a spill.
What should I like look up? Like, will that
Let's
come
just
up?
see.
13 deaths. Like that like blew up.
4 point. Oh no, the Gulf oil spill was 200.
Holy crap!
210 million gallons. So a lot more.
So so this actually isn't as bad as I thought.
It's still bad.
It's still bad, but
if you look at the Deepwater Horizon oil spill, it's nowhere even close.
Yeah.
It's no the.
I mean, it's bad. It's bad.
Obviously,
we're not going to say it's not bad. That's
obviously dumping 5.5 million gallons of diesel into the ocean is not a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you compare it to 210 million gallons, it's like it's chump change.
Yeah, they messed up there. That was.
Have you seen that movie?
This movie?
Yeah, Deepwater Horizon.
I haven't. No.
It's a good movie. You should watch it. It's a good movie. I recommend watching it.
Did it blow up like
it did blow up?
So that's
in
what
the
happened.
movie. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
I didn't know if maybe I was just making an assumption because I saw like the smoke and the fire.
No,
it actually did. I don't know much about it.
It is an explosion.
So I'm assuming those 13 deaths were from the explosion then.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was curious. I didn't know how that happened.
Or like the fire after, because like they're on a ring in the middle of the ocean, right?
Yeah.
So it's burning up, but like where are you gonna go? You gotta wait for someone. You gotta wait for someone to come rescue you.
Yeah, and you can't jump in the water because the oil's now on fire.
Yeah. That's like parts of the movie. Like people are jumping off, but like the whole entire ocean is now on fire with oil.
Yeah.
So
it's like that.
So it's like you go under the water, you can't go back up, or else you're gonna be like
It's like that scene from what war movie was it? One of the D-Day movies.
Or are you talking about Pearl Harbor? I feel like I've seen that like a Pearl Harbor movie.
No. It was definitely a D-Day movie.
From, like the Arizona leaking out of oil.
A ship got like, I don't know, torpedoed, I guess. Oil leaked, and it caught on fire, and the people were trying to swim out of it.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. I can't remember what it's called. God, that's gonna annoy me.
Dude, it's the sleep deprivation, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
The mind is not as sharp as it usually is.
Oh yeah, I'm just
dragging through this.
This is really a struggle. The other news that we had, we actually couldn't find it again.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, the last topic of news here that we had was something about Hillary Clinton.
Okay, yeah. So the judge...
He read it
before it was on my phone, right? It was a news title that said, the judge has ruled that Hillary Clinton needs to testify about all her emails. But when I went to tap on...
Wait, before you continue.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, she had an email. In case they didn't know.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
everyone knows about the...
But in case, you never know.
Yeah,
in case you didn't know, she had an email scandal. She, like, deleted emails or something.
She had, like, 40,000 something emails.
Yeah, and they're just, like, gone. And
what happened to them?
It was, like, wasn't it, like, during it was during her run, right? Or was it before that?
It was, like, right before.
Right
it was
before,
around the time.
right around the time of her running for president. Yeah, what happened to him? Anyway, back to what you were saying.
But yeah, so I wanted to click on the article to read more about it, obviously, right? Because like, you don't get a lot of information just from that headline. But the website said 404 error will not load, and then I tried looking it up on Jared's computer, and it is nowhere to be found. So
yeah, and he couldn't find it back on his phone either.
I would love to share more details with you about this court hearing or whatever.
Yeah.
But
It's just gone.
the information is not there. So
And it wasn't like a fake news site either.
no.
It was a legit. I can't remember what it was, but it was legit.
Yeah, it was a legit news site. It wasn't some like it wasn't like the Onion like satire news or something like that. Like it was like legit.
Yeah, so it's been taken down. So that leads to one of our topics that we had an idea of.
Yeah, just
which
kinda,
you know more about this.
Yeah. If you want to pull up the YouTube channel here, let me just show them. So there's this documentary on YouTube. It's called Out of the Shadows. It's the first one right there.
This one?
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
one?
that one.
This.
It has 14 million views, but it is search blocked by YouTube. The only way you can find this documentary is by searching the channel name. YouTube actually won't let you find the video just by searching the title. And basically, it interviews all these people that are super high up in like the news world, the Hollywood, and it talks about how all the ties the CIA has and that Washington has. Yeah, that's a good place to stop it. And that Washington has into our media, and how basically talk a little bit about like Operation Mockingbird, how the CIA was paying journalists to write fake news stories in order to sway public opinion, and they have documents talking about how motion pictures are the greatest type of psychological warfare and the greatest tool for changing people's minds and mindsets on certain issues.
Yeah, so I mean, I haven't watched it yet. That's why I let him do all the talking for this one. I have no clue anything about this. However, he did mention something about it was like government like hiding stuff.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. That just sparked our mind, or sparked his mind for this, because of the fact that that news article was there.
But I cannot
clicked on it, couldn't access it. Tried to look it up in here, couldn't even find it.
Yeah.
Went back to his phone, and it's gone.
Yeah. So
that's kind of
makes you think, and if I would
weird.
recommend everyone to watch this documentary because it will definitely change your view of the news and the media.
Yeah.
And
wasn't there? Didn't you find the actual documents of the CIA?
I was trying to pull those up. It was kind of hard to read. I didn't really have enough time to scan through them. But there's a clip in this documentary where it shows like clips from like a bunch of different news like anchors talking, and he lays them over each other, and they're all saying the same exact thing, in sync. And it's like, and it gets me wondering, like, are they just reading all reading the same script? Like,
were they different news channels?
Yeah. You could tell, like, it was all different people, like, different news channels. They, like, laid them all out over each other, and they were all just saying the same thing in sync, and it's like, yo.
That's whack.
Yeah.
Man. That's crazy.
But, yeah, everyone, I would definitely recommend giving this a watch. It's called Out the Shadows. You have to search the channel name, go to the channel, it'll be on there. The video won't pop up because YouTube has a search block, which is another thing. It makes it even more suspicious. It's like, why is YouTube not letting me find this just by searching? Like, they're making it harder for me to access this information.
So, to find it, you'd have to look up Out of Shadows, and probably, how did you find it? Click channels?
Yeah, you have to go to the channels.
Go to the channels.
And click the channel.
And I'll pull this up for people watching. Here it is.
Yeah.
That's what it.
Yep.
This is what it looks like.
Out of Shadows, they have 248,000 subscribers.
Little American flag thing going on here.
Yeah, but definitely just adds to the suspicion as to why YouTube search blocked this video, because there's no profanity, there's nothing like graphic or like sexual about it. It's just simply a documentary about government ties to the media in Hollywood and making it harder for you to look at, which is one more reason you should go look at it, because they don't want you to be watching it.
Yeah, it doesn't want you to watch it. On the topic, not that I agree with this. I did watch this documentary. It was the COVID one.
Yes.
I did not. The quote, as the media, specifically NBC, put it, the crazy lady documentary. That's literally what they had.
I did not watch
you
this.
Didn't watch it?
I'll let you talk about it.
I have it on my phone. I screen recorded it because I was going to show it to my dad to see what he thought of it, because. What I found weird, not that the lights just like dim.
Yeah.
Okay. Not that I agree with what she was saying, nor do I believe the whole thing. So she was saying that who's the main medicine guy in the government?
Dr. what?
Fauci?
Fauci.
Is that him?
Believe,
Is that his name?
Fauci.
there was a whole conspiracy that this virus, like, something about it, like, something about the way he's handling it is only to help him. And she was an like viral like scientist.
Mm-hmm.
Like she used to work for Anthony Fauci. That's his name, Anthony.
Anthony.
There it is.
It came in
there,
like that.
as I'm speaking,
Yeah.
I had no clue. And the basis of it is like she's just exposing him, allegedly exposing him for all this stuff. And she said stuff about how like he wants this to ride out, and how, which this is actually, she said it's weird. There's only one company allowed to work in the U.S. towards a dude,
vaccine.
Thank you. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Towards a vaccine, and it happens to be the one that he is invested in, and he's the head of everything.
Yes.
And so it brought up a lot of those points. And then she also said stuff about how if you're really young, you shouldn't be like wearing a face. This is the part that I didn't think was like good. She was like, you shouldn't be wearing a face mask because like it will weaken your immune system or something like that. She went on a whole tangent on some other things, but she had some points in there that were fair.
Yeah.
And in the whole video, there was nothing against YouTube's guidelines. No gore.
Yeah.
No cuss words.
Just speaking your mind.
She was just speaking her mind, and it was like a legit documentary. Like someone was like asking her,
Yeah,
and it had like
interviewed and stuff.
and
like
it
that.
had like facts and like documents that they kept bringing up. And the other thing they brought up is they brought in doctors. I think this is another reason why they probably hit it. They brought in a few doctors, actual doctors, during this COVID thing, who were saying that, like, they were forcing them to put COVID as like a cause of death, like to curve the numbers.
That's interesting.
So, the one doctor that was in it was saying, he was complaining about it, right?
Yeah.
It was like a group of doctors, and there was one guy talking. I think they were at Dallas or something. I don't remember. Yep. But they said something along the lines of, we had a patient die from a car crash.
But he had coronavirus.
He had COVID. They made us put it as a COVID death, not a car
I've
accident.
seen stuff like that.
And they were just curious. It was like, they had like many cases like that, where it was like, they died from something else, did the autopsy, that's the word, found out they had COVID, and then they had to mark it as that. So they were curious why they were...
Even though they had coronavirus... The car crash killed them, but since they had coronavirus, they put that as a cause of death.
Yeah, because there's a difference between dying with and dying because of. So that was another big point. But the thing that confused me the most, the thing that kind of sketched me out the most, is what NBC said about the video was not what was actually said in the video.
What do you mean?
So NBC News, their title for the article was "Crazy Lady Conspiracy."
Yeah. But like, did they just not address any of the points in the video?
Yeah, and here's what the guy said. It was one of those Snapchat news things.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. It was like your news for the day or whatever.
Yeah.
And when he was talking about it, he said this like, what was it, like uncredible or whatever. Like, crazy lady is telling people not to wear a mask, not to wash your hands.
But doesn't actually address any of the points.
Yeah, and he was saying that like she's not credible at all, when like. No, I mean,
but gives no rebuttal to her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, she might be. I mean, she was an viral scientist or something. Like, she had some credibility, and they also everything that they said she said was nothing that she actually said.
Yeah.
And then you get to the point of YouTube was blocking and taking down all of these videos about this documentary when it didn't break any of the rules.
Yeah.
That was a really long explanation to get to the point of. Why are they taking it down?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna like speak because I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
and I don't know anything about it really. Like I've heard stuff about like numbers being inflated. You know, I'm not gonna get into that because I don't really know much enough to even make an opinion on it. But the point is like, if you're going to say someone is not creditable and you're gonna try to like discredit their statement, but then not rebuttal any of their points and just attack them and like call them crazy, like that just makes you look more suspicious. Not to say that she's correct, because I don't know.
No, yeah,
I don't know
I'm not saying she's correct either.
I'm just saying,
I don't know.
True or not, that's just a terrible way to go about it. Like, she's crazy, she has no clue what she's doing, but then do not like, because like you could take some, if you actually know what you're doing, you'll take some of her facts and you'll present counter evidence to prove that she's crazy.
See, that's the thing.
But instead you just call her names, call her crazy, and then leave it at like that does nothing.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing that really like made me think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Not only were they calling her crazy
Yeah.
and trying to discredit everything she said.
Yeah.
What they said she talked about in the documentary,
Mhm.
not even close to what she actually talked
Yeah.
about.
They're not actually telling people what she was saying.
They were saying like she's crazy. She thinks it's a hoax. She thinks
Not why she thinks it's a hoax, and
Yeah.
then this is why it isn't.
yeah.
Just
Well,
she
the
thinks
thing is,
it's a
she didn't even
hoax.
think it was a hoax.
Yeah.
They were just saying stuff that like crazy people would say.
Yeah.
And the other thing, now I'm gonna sound crazy, right? But they could have been saying that because
Get the
they know
tinfoil
that
hats
people,
on,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Get the tinfoil
yeah,
hats
I'm
on.
losing my mind. But they may have been saying that because they know people can't even watch it.
Yeah.
Because once it became a thing,
Yeah.
YouTube took it down within like literally it was like a 28-minute video.
Mm-hmm.
I screen recorded it the first time I watched it
Yeah.
because what had happened is Dan had sent it to me,
Mm-hmm.
and Dan was like, "This is crazy. You should watch this." He's
Yeah.
like, "I'm not saying it's real. I'm not saying I believe it. You should just watch it."
But this is
So I watched it,
Yeah.
but the first time I clicked on the link,
Mm-hmm.
it was already gone. It had already been taken down
Yeah.
10 minutes after he sent it to me.
This is my take, right? Like, even if it sounds crazy, even if it sounds like, oh, conspiracy theory, which, by the way, the CIA came up with the term conspiracy theorist after the JFK assassination to, like, push back anyone that was, like, going against their claim. Like,
Really?
the CIA came up with the name conspiracy theorist to, like, push back anyone who was thinking differently about the JFK
To try to
assassination.
make them seem crazy.
To, like, discredit them. Like, oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist.
Try to discredit them.
So,
that's what they called the lady too.
Yeah,
They called
you're
her
just
crazy.
playing their game, you know. Like they got you right where they want you, and you're throwing out all these. Oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist. Like, well, they're the ones that came up with that. Like,
Yeah.
I guess JFK's assassination is something to get into for another day. But
Yeah, no, we were gonna have a whole other episode about conspiracy theories.
I guess we get into one like every.
We kind of do
We're
get into
gonna
one,
get into
but
one
we're
every
gonna have a
podcast.
whole episode about just conspiracy theories. This one I just had to explain the situation.
Yeah,
But the main
Like-
point of this was just hiding stuff.
yeah,
Like it still confuses me as to why they would even take it down.
Mhm.
It didn't violate any of the rules
Yeah.
of YouTube, and there are millions of conspiracy theories out
Yeah.
there. But for some reason, this one
Mhm.
was taken down the second it was posted
Yeah.
on most people's
and like
accounts.
just like the out of the shadows. Why is it search? Like why
Mhm.
why is it search blocked? Like why can't I just search
Yeah.
up? Why are you
I
making
haven't
it?
watched this one.
Why are
yet,
you
but-
making it harder for people to access this information?
Yeah. Oops. Almost dropped my water.
And it's like even like I'm gonna get back to the point I was making before I kind of trailed off there. But like even if it's like you're listening to this and you're thinking, oh, this conspiracy theorist or
Yeah.
whatever, right? Like
We're not crazy.
you have to at least take a look at it, because if you just don't even try to look at it, like you have to be able to decide for yourself. You can't let someone else decide for you. And you can't be like, oh, I heard this over there, and they're saying that this is crazy talk, conspiracy
Yeah.
theories. I'm gonna believe it. You need to make your own decision. You need to watch the information yourself, look at what they're presenting to you, and then decide if it's crazy talk or not. You can't just let some dude sit behind a desk on TV or read an article and then be
Yeah.
like, that's how I'm gonna
Some
think.
dude in New York
Yeah,
sitting
you
in
have
his
to.
flat.
Yeah, you have to
I said
make.
flat. That's a
You
British
have to do
term.
your you have to do your own research, and you have to decide for yourself what is true and what you believe.
Yeah.
You can't just
Exactly.
be eating everything they feed to you and believing.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just.
And I mean, this even goes back to, like, I think we said in the first episode, maybe even in the second, something about just not trusting the government.
Yeah.
It was the first one.
First, we're talking
'Cause-
about China.
We're talking about China, which we're probably already banned from.
Banned from China, not banned from Russia.
Banned from Russia.
How many more countries can we?
Yeah. And you had mentioned that you don't even trust the U.S. sometimes.
Yeah.
This
Look at
just
stuff
this
like
just
it's stuff
fur-
like
this
this.
just furthers
It's
it.
like
Like, we're not even crazy.
yeah. It's
I'm
like
not heavy into conspiracy
it's just
theories
common
at all.
sense. Like okay, there's this video talking about how government's doing shady stuff, and oh, would you look at that? They're making it harder for me to find.
Yeah.
It's like you
There's
gotta
a video-
put one and two together and be like, why
yeah,
is
this one's talking about the government hiding stuff, right?
Yeah.
The other one was talking about the government, like, kind of hiding stuff about COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and then the government hid
Yeah,
these
yeah,
videos.
And it's like
It's like, it's just like, it gets the
you
gears
gotta
turning.
think.
I'm not saying any of it's real.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is for sure or whatever. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, who knows?
We have no clue.
Who knows, right? But you gotta have an open mind. And you gotta think like, you gotta take a step back and be like, okay, there's all this information about bad talk about the government, and now they're making it harder for you to find. It's like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it's a little sketch. It's a
Ah,
real
boy, good sketch. But I think I was just gonna say that's enough for conspiracy theories, and you know, theories today, but our next topic is yet another conspiracy theory.
Another theory.
It's we're on a simulation, right?
Simulation theory.
Yeah.
Simulation
So
theory. Elon Musk is a big believer in simulation theory.
Yeah. So
He thinks it's actually almost nearly impossible that we're not living in a simulation. He would say.
Yeah, which messes with my head a lot
Which
because
is
I'm
weird to
not
think
big into this
about.
theory. I'm not big into. I watched who was it? I think it was Morgan Freeman. I think he did a show, like an hour and a half, like TV special on this that I watched, and I'm not big into this theory.
Mhm.
However, it's something to talk about.
Yeah. Do you want to play the video first, then we can kind of go
Yeah.
just to like. I feel like this video lays it out good, just so people can get a good understanding of what is going
100%. I'm so tired, dude.
Yeah, me too.
My brain is just
Me
not
too.
working. All right, here we go.
Elon Musk thinks it's almost certain that we are living in a computer simulation.
Just what you said.
There's a 1 in billions chance that this is based reality.
He says that humans are basically some advanced version
Wait,
of
what
The
did he even say
Sims.
there?
There's like a 1 in a billion chance that this is like reality and not a simulation.
Oh, so he's that confident?
Yeah.
Let me just rewind that. Just for me, because I'm dumb.
Living
Brain's
in
moving
a
slow.
computer simulation.
There's a 1 in billions chance that this is based reality.
He says
Okay,
that
yeah.
humans are basically some advanced version of The Sims. Yes, that idea sounds pretty absurd, but we shouldn't just write it off.
That's what I think about. Like when I play like a game like that, I'm playing GTA. I'm thinking like, these characters like, what if they're just like alive, you know? And like they just and
like
they,
Wreck-It Ralph.
yeah, and like they just think like this is life, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
Wreck-It Ralph, but they don't know they're in the
yeah,
game.
you don't know.
Every time they die.
Yo,
I kill my GTA character for fun sometimes.
Dude.
Flip a car.
I mean, if he's real, the stuff I do to that guy, the stuff I put,
Poor man, dude.
I'd be flying a plane up to like 35,000 feet and just jumping out of
Jumping out,
it,
going
just
straight
going
down.
straight down.
Oh no.
Poor guy. All right, you can get back to the
Yeah.
People used to think the solar system worked like this, but almost 2,000 years before Galileo proved
Oh, for those of you
it
watching on
didn't,
Spotify, if you're talking
Aristarchus
about everything was
posited the
Earth was the
exact-
center of the universe.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what the
By the way,
diagram
people
is
still
showing.
believe that.
Yes, and people also believe the Earth is flat. Sorry if there's any
We're
flat
not gonna
earthers out
call
there,
anyone
but
crazy, but the Earth's not flat.
all I'm
Okay.
gonna say is there's literally a live stream of the Earth from the International Space Station. So
All I'm gonna say is the Earth is not flat.
Yeah.
Okay,
we're just gonna leave it at that.
Man, we're not gonna call you crazy. You know, you can believe what you want to believe, but the Earth is round.
Yeah.
It is a sphere. Anyway.
Same crazy idea. Reality is probably not as it seems. Musk is echoing a paper on this theory by philosopher Nick Bostrom. His argument goes like this.
40 years ago, we had Pong, like 2 rectangles and a dot.
30 years after Pong, we got The Sims.
Now, 40 years later, we have photorealistic 3D simulations with
What he's talking about here, because when we watch this,
He makes
video,
it so
good.
technical.
He's talking about video games.
Yeah.
Now we have modern video games.
Yeah.
Like VR.
So
and-
basically, we went from Pong to VR and first-person shooters
First-person
like Call of
shooters,
Duty
yeah.
and GTA.
where you can like see stuff in a
And,
3D.
and the graphics are
yeah.
super advanced. I don't know why you use such a technical term.
Yeah.
You could just said
You
video
could've
games.
said- we went from 2D Pong to 3D video games, and
yeah.
we would have got the point across.
They're VR, like
VR.
yeah,
But yeah, that's what he's talking about. Since you guys can't actually see it,
yeah.
because that confused me the first time I
Mhm.
watched it. So
millions of people playing simultaneously, and it's getting better every year.
So let's go about
That it
10,000
is.
years into the future. It's possible that when we get there, civilization will be entirely gone because there is a ceiling to our advancement. Maybe it's because of global warming or self-replicating robots.
If civilization stops advancing, then that may be due to some calamitous event that erases civilization.
But another possibility is
may I
that
just say that Elon Musk is on a different wavelength.
That man.
The way he thinks.
Did you just talk about how he named his son? Did I just say
You
that?
see, he had to change his name. You see, he had to change his son's name.
Oh, he did. Oh, yeah. Is it illegal in California
a number.
for numbers to be in
So
the
we had
name?
to change it to the Roman numeral, like IV something. It was.
It's like, let me find the loophole.
yeah. So it's like, what is the number? Like AE
X12 or something like that.
X12. Yeah, but now it's like X like IVX.
Whatever the Roman numeral for
Whatever the Roman
yeah.
numeral is.
He found the loophole in the
yeah.
California state law.
Dude,
That's funny.
there's dashes. Imagine having dashes.
But
in
you know what
your
the thing is? I watched because right after he named his son, he came on the Joe Rogan podcast. Like that was the first
Again,
thing. That was like the
again.
first thing Joe Rogan asked them, and it was actually like mostly like his wife's idea
Are you
for the
serious?
name. Yeah,
Who is his wife, by the way?
I don't know.
Before we continue, I'm curious.
Sorry if anyone was really invested in this video. We are tailing off
We're
here.
tailing off. Just real quick. All right, there it is.
What is Elon Musk's wife's name?
And what does she look like? Oh boy. Looks like he's had a. Oh my God! What noise just came out of my stomach? Did you hear
Children, XAEA-XII,
Dude,
and
he has
then
a lot of children.
Nevada Alexander Musk, just like a normal
that? Nevada Kai Domain.
Damien
No, Damien. Yeah. Xavier Saxon
Griffin,
Griffin.
and then just XAE.
That doesn't even have a last name. That doesn't even have a last name.
This is the one.
X
Oh my
X A E A XII.
It's
XII.
like, what are your kids' names? Oh, Nevada, Kai, Damien,
Dude.
Xavier, Saxon, Griffin, XAE dash.
You had to be like X A E
Yes.
A X I I
Oh my
dash
God.
that.
It's like, that's so funny.
Doesn't even have, like
Imagine
you
you-
see how the rest of them have like the last name next to them. This doesn't.
No,
This is his name.
this is his name. And it's
No.
like, this kid's gonna walk into like first grade and he's gonna have like his name tag on his desk, you know? It's just gonna be XAE.
Dude, okay, this is really random before we get back to the video. My name being Jarek,
hmm
I get teachers all the time.
Yeah.
Subs, the first day of class for normal teachers, like my regular teachers, question my name.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I did a prank call the other day. Finally told the girl what my real name was. She didn't believe me. She didn't believe me that it was my real name. So, I mean, I understand. I feel this kid's struggle, but not to the extent that
Dude, this
the
kid's got...
sub's gonna walk in and be like,
This kid is gonna be on a different level. It's gonna be like that Key and Peele skit. It was like,
Yeah.
hey, Ron!
yeah, Aaron.
But it's gonna be like...
It's gonna be like X. Like
How do you even-
if I was a sub, how do you have to say that as the letters? What is that? What is that?
What's the
AE?
pronunciation of that? Is that like somehow like turned to a word, or is it actually just X?
What if it's just like Thomas? Like
Yeah,
it's like
imagine.
Matt,
It's just something like super simple. Okay, we should get back to the video now.
John. Yeah. Back to the video. So
It's just-
we didn't even see what his wife looked like.
You didn't even...
If we keep
Whatever,
advancing
whatever.
and assuming everything in the physical
Ooh,
world
learn a
can
name.
be simulated, eventually we'll simulate ourselves.
We're so bad
Every
at this.
synapse in the entire human brain for everyone on Earth. Getting enough computing power to run billions of ancestor simulations could be a problem, but Bostrom thinks we'd send tiny self-replicating robots to other planets, which would turn the
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. This is where this theory loses me.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, this is not very realistic, but this is where I heard another take, right? It's like, you would honestly not need as much computing power if you design the simulation like any other video game, right? So, like, the world only exists at what you're looking at right now. So, like, say we're looking straight ahead. Technically, nothing behind us exists until we lay our eyes on it, you know? So, like, the computer wouldn't have to worry about any of that stuff because we're not looking at it. So, until you
Dude.
look at it, that's when the computer has to focus and render it. But until then, it doesn't actually exist. It's
Dude,
just
that's
not
actually
there.
crazy because that.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, I can't see my hands right now.
Yeah.
For viewers, I have my hands by my ears.
Yeah.
For listeners, that's
So
crazy.
like that's like another take on it. It's like, okay, well, the computer wouldn't need to have everything generated
would
at
be-
the same time. Because it's just like how like in Minecraft when you first log in, everything has to like render,
Everything
you know?
renders, and if you're flying too fast,
Yeah, it's still rendering. Like
It's
it's the
rendering
same
it as you
thing.
go
Like
in.
it only exists when you are looking at it. That
It's
way,
like that,
the computer's not having to render the entire world 24/7. It's only
Yeah.
the stuff that needs to be seen.
it's like the Rick and Morty episode
Yeah.
where they're both, and somehow Jerry got in the simulation.
Yeah.
But there's a specific shot of him driving, and the simulation is like appearing in front of him
Mm-hmm.
and disappearing behind
Yeah.
him. That's basically what.
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't need all that compute. Yeah, this is
That's
I
crazy.
don't
So
like-
right now we're both looking forward, and if that camera wasn't there, there's nothing behind us.
nothing behind us.
According to the
According to the simulation thing.
see, the cameras kind of kill that that idea.
But for the camera, hold on a
Oh,
second.
no. The cameras kind of
Kinda
shoot down that idea, right?
I suppose.
Because
But,
I'm not looking back there.
but no, but for us, it wouldn't need to be rendered, but for the camera, it would be.
So would the camera count? Would the camera be?
So, dude, this
Would
is
that
really,
render
this is
stuff in?
I don't know. I just don't know. Like,
Just-
does it only exist for the camera? I mean, they would have to, right? Like, it would have to exist for the camera, and then when we look at the camera, we'll obviously be able to see it. But, you know, we're looking this way. Then.
And would we be able to turn around fast enough to see, like,
Yeah.
nothing? Like, lag?
Yeah.
The server lags.
Or
And
it's
it's like...
Have you seen, like, the back rooms, you know? You ever heard about that?
Uh,
Look up a picture. I know everyone's like, I feel like I've seen this before. It's basically like, it's like when you like, you do something.
the back rooms?
The back rooms, yeah. It's like when you do something that the simulation doesn't expect. Like, you know how like in a video game you can glitch out and like go like underneath the map or whatever?
Yeah.
It's, go to images. And it's, like this.
Like this?
Yeah, go up to like one of those.
This?
Does that look familiar? I feel like it looks really familiar to me.
It's like a game almost, right?
But like it's like when you do something the simulation's not expecting, like it expects you to take a right, but you take a left. You basically like no clip out, right? And you go to the back rooms, and it's just like infinite rooms with just these like humming fluorescent lights and like.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. And just looking at the picture is so like unsettling.
It is unsettling. That's like such a bland room.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That one especially. The rest of them, I
Mhm.
think the rest of them are from a video game. That one especially.
Yeah.
Because that one looks real.
Yeah.
What a... cheat codes.
Cheat codes.
In
Yeah,
real
just
life.
no clip out.
Up, down,
Up, down.
left. Like...
You gotta trick the simulation.
Okay, back to the video. Second time we got distracted here.
Planet
It's
into
like
a
3-minute
huge
video too. We
computer,
were really
and
taking our
some of the
time.
simulation would start making their own simulations. In this scenario, there are billions of universes that are indistinguishable from our own. That means that chances are we are in one of the simulated universes. And given the other possibility, which is that human civilization has an inevitable ceiling, Elon Musk thinks we better hope that we're in a simulation.
Either we're going to create simulations that are indistinguishable from reality, or civilization will cease to exist. Those are the two options.
There is
Can I just point out, that man on the left looked like he was just as lost as me.
Yeah.
He was like...
Well, he's sitting there, Elon Musk using all these big terms instead of just saying video games. Like,
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like,
that man
I'd
on
probably
the
be
far
lost
left
too,
for
dude.
us, for listeners,
How
I'm making
articulate.
the surprised emoji face.
Yeah.
Like that is me right now. Trying to
Well, it's such a such an
render all
abstract
this
view of
in.
the world. It's such a complicated concept. You know, it's like it's hard
Yeah.
to wrap your head around. Like
And
the fact that
but-
we could all just be
Fake.
just numbers running through a
I
computer
had-
processor right now.
Dude,
you know?
I had a theory. I hate to have an even longer cut between this video, but I had a theory in my own head that, like, now talking to you, this because obviously I've never expressed this to anyone,
Mm-hmm.
but it seems like things almost work out for me too much sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's almost like, what if I'm the only real one, or what if this is all just like a dream,
This is like
and everyone else around me is fake?
I don't know if this happened to you, but like, I saw this thing and it was like, you know, you're in a simulation because you've never seen your neighbors like taking in like groceries or something like that. And I just thought about it. I was like, I never see my neighbors taking no groceries.
That's
It's
what I'm
like-
talking
and
about.
It's like
though.
everyone else is just an NPC, you know, and it's
That's
like,
what I'm talking about, though. Like, because, like, I mean, it feels weird talking to my best friend of all my life here.
Yeah, it's like you're not even real.
You're
my
not
guy.
even real, dude. But like, it's weird because it seems like sometimes things work out
No,
for
I get what
me,
you're saying.
too perfect. Like, I'm not saying my life is perfect,
Obviously,
but it seems like sometimes things.
some things just fall into place, and it's like, yo,
It's like, how did that fall into place? And it's like, I don't know. I think it's also just one of those thoughts, like late at night, that like I will never know specifically what you're thinking.
yeah,
And like, how do I even know that you're thinking? I mean, obviously we're
Yeah,
talking.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah,
But like, if you weren't my friend, I wasn't sitting here with you right now. How do I even know that you're like even? Like, if I see like
Mhm.
a woman I never met walking
Yeah.
walking in the store, or an old man,
yeah.
an elderly.
It's like you'll never
man.
know what's going on.
I never
in
know.
their
What if they're not
mind.
even thinking?
Yeah,
What if they're
yeah,
just an
you don't know.
NPC? Is that the right word?
Yeah, NPC.
Isn't that whack? I had that thought once. I
Yeah,
was like, what if my family doesn't even like? What if this is all just like a simulation for myself?
yeah, it's weird. It's really weird.
I've never seen my neighbors bringing in the groceries.
Yeah, I know. You never.
Dude, you have just messed with.
Yeah, I know. I saw. It's like
I'm gonna sit on my porch
it's
every
like,
day
it's like
now.
yeah, it was like you know you're in the simulation because when have you ever seen your neighbors taking in their groceries and like stuff like that? It's
Dude.
like yo,
That is
it's like, that's
crazy.
facts. Though.
That is absolutely insane. That is blowing my mind because we take in the groceries every week.
Yeah,
And it's
I
not
take in
like-
the groceries so often. I've never seen anyone else taking
Anyone
in the
else taking the
groceries.
groceries. I've never seen you taking the groceries.
I've never seen you
Are
take. Hold on a second.
God, dude. I mean, obviously that's crazy talk, but like, is it?
But is it? But is it now?
Like, my mind, or like, what if, like?
Please let us know. Have you ever seen your neighbors taking in the groceries?
Yeah. Comment below.
And can you confirm that they were real groceries and not just part of the simulation to make you think? Just all an illusion.
Yeah. Next time, if you ever see your neighbors, all right, I'm not
saying
I'm not
to go,
calling for it. I'm not
but
telling you guys to do this.
I'm highly recommending you go inspect their groceries
Yeah,
to make sure that they are
go
real.
make sure they're real. Take a bite out of whatever it is.
Imagine you go over there. It's just like empty bags.
Oh my god,
I'd
dude!
flip. I'd be like, yo, it's just.
Dude, what if like take it a little bit farther? What if only the people in my immediate circle are real?
Like
Like,
what if like say like everyone like in Europe or whatever is like just all NPCs, you know?
Yeah.
You don't know any of them.
the sidemen are just secretly Americans?
Yeah.
Europe's just NPCs.
Yeah. Europe's all NPCs, dude. Or they're just NPCs. They're just programmed
to entertain.
And to be like that. It's all part of the code.
Dude, that is so
What's
crazy.
the thing I think about? It's like if we're in a simulation, right, we're just like running pieces of code, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like, has all this already been decided? Like, are we programmed to be sitting here right now talking about being programmed to sit here to talk about this? Like, is that all part of the?
Are we programmed to sit here and talk about how we could be programmed?
Yeah.
But that's all just us being programmed.
Yeah, they already want us to, and that's the thing, right? I brought this up to you earlier. It's like if you find out you're in a simulation and then you try to escape that simulation to figure out where it's coming from, you will never know if where you are is a part of the simulation or not. If you're still being like simulated, you know, like the Matrix type thing, right? Like say you bust out of this world and you wake up and you come out. Well, how do you know that's not just another section of the simulation? It's turned into a paradox. You can never know. Once you know you're being simulated, you will never know if you are in the simulation or not.
Dude, this is like the deepest thought I've had in a while. I think it's just because that's the first time I've expressed to anyone my personal, obviously insane theory.
Yeah. No, but I think
But
that the two is.
It's like not even that insane. I'm sure other people have thought about that.
Yeah.
Yo, like this video if you've thought of crazy things
follow
too.
Follow the podcast.
Follow the podcast. Share. Don't forget to share it with your friends. Really,
dude. Literally.
Anyway, we gotta finish this video.
We need to finish the video. It's a 3-minute, 39-second video. We've been going on
20 minutes
for
now.
20 minutes.
20
I am
minutes.
so sorry, but that's what you came here for.
Yeah. Off topic.
It's for the off-topic banter, and if it's not, well, you came to the wrong podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just gonna
You
say
definitely
that.
came to
I'm
the
just
wrong
gonna say that.
This is we cannot stay on topic.
No.
Anyway, back to the video here.
One other possibility. Maybe future humans just don't want to run ancestor simulations. Maybe they think it's unethical, because there is a tremendous amount of suffering in the world, and that suffering would still feel real to simulated humans. Or maybe they have other priorities. So to recap, there
Like
are three
space roller
possibilities.
coasters.
One,
That's what it shows.
humans go extinct before we're able to run a simulation this big. 2, humans don't run simulations because it's wrong or boring. Number 3, we are living in a simulation. Elon Musk thinks that there's only a tiny chance we are in scenario 1 or 2. The philosopher Nick Bostrom thinks it's more like a 20% chance that we're in a simulation, but if you're not into futuristic predictions, Bostrom thinks this argument provides other rewards. He says, it suggests naturalistic analogies to certain traditional religious
Gonna have to
conceptions.
blur out that.
In other words, we live in a simulation.
Age restricted.
There is a higher level being, but it's some version of us. This leads to a rabbit hole of conversations, which is why Elon Musk has rules about when he can talk about this.
It got to the point where basically every conversation was the AI/simulation conversation, and my brother and I finally agreed that we would ban such conversations if we were ever in a hot tub. Like,
Just talking about like the hot tub talk.
Oh yeah.
But
I was like, what?
do you want me to go? Because like I know you were a bit confused about like the either we go extinct or we make a simulation.
Yeah, go into that because I have no clue.
So for any of you that were confused about like, he's talking about like there's either like 1 or 2 scenarios, right? Like either we go extinct or we create a simulation, right? So basically the theory is throughout human evolution, we are always trying to increase our technology. We're always trying to get better. We're always trying to improve on what we've got, right?
Yeah.
You can look in the past and you clearly, here we are now, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like just when our parents were born,
yeah.
Just there was wasn't even microwaves.
Just in the past, yeah, literally, like just in the past 30, 40 years, how much technology is increased, right? And, or like even like, I know this is like not even that big, but like just think about cars from like when we were little, like until you look at a car now. It's like so much more tech
Think about
inside.
TVs.
And like when we were born, now there's self-driving cars. If you look at Tesla, right? Like just all this technology improving. So basically,
I think the biggest one, honestly, TVs.
TVs have improved.
I don't know if you had I mean, obviously, flat screen.
No,
TVs existed.
my first TV was like the big box one, you
Well,
know.
I had a big one.
You'd be
until I moved
asleep,
here.
you'd hear it like clicking and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had that one until I even moved to this house, which was like
Yeah, no.
2000.
The whole time I lived in Cuyahoga Falls, like that was
2010
the TV
maybe.
we had.
I said 2008 and then 2011.
Yeah.
I'm so dumb. It's one in between those years.
But
God,
anyways,
I'm
back
tired.
to what I was saying. So basically, it's just in human nature to always be improving and creating new things and always thinking about how we can better what we have. And if you look back at the past, we've continued to do it. So who's going to say that we're just going to one day stop innovating? It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not like human nature just to stop all innovation. So basically,
You mean even on a small scale?
yeah, even on a small scale.
Like houses.
Yeah, literally.
We constantly want to improve stuff in our house.
Yeah, or make it more efficient, make power more efficient. Like we're
Yeah.
always trying to improve every single aspect of like how can we make this better? How can we make this more efficient? So we're not just going to stop. So basically, given enough time, our technology will increase to the point where we'll be able to create these simulations, run simulations, or even just have like a VR or augmented reality that is indistinguishable from real life. Or obviously, we won't get that far because some global catastrophe
And we
or
won't be able to
we'll go
continue.
extinct. So that's basically what he's saying. It's like either we won't be here or we will be here, and because of human nature, we will advance to that level at some point in time.
Dude. Yeah.
Everyone just take a deep breath.
I can't even whistle. I'm so amazed, dude. Yeah, this theory. Obviously, I watched something on it with Morgan Freeman as the. He was like the guy talking, the narrator, and I was not behind this theory when I was younger, because I was a lot younger when I watched this.
Yeah.
It was on like the Science Channel or something. But after even talking with it today, and I thought about, what if I'm the only real person in the world,
Yeah.
and all this stuff. Like,
Well, it's like,
it's
can I just throw it back to last week's podcast, right? We're talking about how the theory that consciousness is only there to make you think you're in control, right?
Yeah.
That whole experiment about how they could read your brainwaves and know what you're going to do before you even decided to do it.
Mhm.
What if that's just the code?
the other
You know what?
question.
Like,
The other question is, this is because we're starting to figure stuff out like this.
yeah.
What if we figure out we're in a simulation with the people controlling it? Would they just turn it off? Because
So
what
that's
if
the thing,
everyone in the
it's like-
world is just like, we're in a simulation. This isn't right. We need to get out of this,
Yeah.
and then they just turn it off.
Well, that's the thing.
The world just ends.
You wouldn't even
Is that
know.
what happens when you die?
You wouldn't even know.
I saw something. It was like, we're on a video game.
Yeah.
When we die is when the person who's playing with our character quits.
Mm-hmm.
That's why some people, like, this isn't common,
Mm-hmm.
but some people can die of natural causes in like their 30s.
Yeah.
Like, there's no explanation for it. Like,
It's weird.
dude,
It's definitely weird. I don't know if I'm not gonna be like, simulation theory is 100% true.
no, obviously not.
We obviously but it's definitely.
Something to think
I'm not.
about.
Yeah, I'm not showing this.
talk about.
I'm not showing this to everyone to try to swing your opinion on our reality. Be like, this is why we live in a simulation. It's just good, like, food for thought. It's just.
Yeah.
It's just good
I mean,
to
it's
talk
just-
about, and it's interesting. I think
It gives us
it
content.
really makes you think and just kind of take a step back and look at things in a different light. Even if it's
Yeah.
just for a few minutes, it's always good just to kind of step out of reality and take a different look at things.
Yeah, it's
That's how
always
I
good
think.
to just mess with your head a little.
Yeah, always just
Think.
give yourself some internal.
It gives us something to talk about on the
Of
podcast.
course.
I don't know. My brain, not only am I tired, this is a very heavy topic to be
It
thinking
is.
about.
It is.
That Rockstar energy drink just did not cut it. I'm still tired.
The green tea
The green tea
that is red inside a blue can.
dude, that really started my brain. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, the green tea, green, right? The color, the green tea. Obviously, green tea isn't green, but it's green tea.
but it's bright,
Rockstar.
bright red like fruit
Bright
punch.
red when you pour it out.
And it's in a blue can.
It's in a blue can. What?
I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah,
It was
Rockstar.
unbelievable.
Whoever branded that one messed up.
Yeah.
Because I grabbed the blue one thinking it was like blue raspberry. To be
This
honest,
is not it.
it's simply not. It's green tea,
Let's
and it's
see.
red.
What are we at in time here?
55. Oh,
Oh.
55. Yeah, so I think we're just gonna wrap it up then.
Wrap it up. We'll save these topics. You're gonna have to come back next week.
Yeah, come back next
for
week.
the
We got
more mind-bending topics.
Yeah. This is. I was never expecting our podcast to go in this direction of just deep thought, but it's interesting to talk about.
I kind of like it.
I like it too.
Also, I think it's easy just to talk about and keep
Yo, it's
going.
so easy, especially today because like we had this one and then kind of build off of it with my individual one, and then yours, or like your like opinion on mine or whatever. Yeah, so I think we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks for listening, guys. Please subscribe if you're watching it on YouTube.
Make sure to share.
Follow please share with your friends and family. We are family friendly here,
of course.
And this episode was completely family friendly.
Yes, it was actually. Good job, boys.
Yeah. So follow on Spotify. I think you can follow on Anchor if you're watching it on Anchor.
I'm not sure how Anchor works, but I'm not sure how Anchor works.
I don't really know. That's what we distribute it with.
But yeah,
we're on like 6 other platforms. I'll find those next time and let you know. Or maybe I'll just link it in the description.
Also, we will be linking all the videos and everything we watched today in the description of this video.
Yeah.
That way you can find them yourself and you can look at it. You can watch them yourself. You can gather your own opinion on them if you really want to keep going.
We only watched one video this time too, so
yeah, but
you can watch it all the way through instead of us being dumb and
if you actually listen to it and not forget about what was just said because we talked for 20 minutes in between each pause. But
so that's gonna wrap it up. If you're listening on Spotify and you have something to say, you can always go to my YouTube and comment.
YouTube is Jarek James.
Yeah, at Jarek James on YouTube. It has the same name as the one on Spotify for the name of the podcast for that episode. So if you can't find it, that's how you find it. I don't know how to explain it. Literally, I copy and paste when I put it on Spotify first. I take the name, copy and paste it into the YouTube uploader, so it's the exact same name as the podcast in Spotify. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. Subscribe, follow, share. If we didn't nail that already,
if you haven't realized what we want you to do already, I hope you do now.
Like, heart, download. I don't know how it works on all
the
other
streams
stuff.
up. Come on.
Yeah, come on now.
All right, that's it.
That's it. We're done.
Yeah, we're done. That's it.
All right, bye.
Bye.